As college students, it often seems as if, amidst the long list of assignments we tend to accumulate, our health often becomes the last of our priorities. In an effort to better our understanding of health, I'm here with Kathleen Keesling to ask her a couple of questions concerning health literacy, both in and out of the doctor's office. Feeling comfortable in the doctor's office is something many people struggle with, especially in our generation. However, understanding health literacy and how to properly apply it can help you well into adulthood and beyond.
Well, that's a great question, because health literacy sounds like it's like a test, or how to spell that, how to do that. And that is really what it is how to take care of your health, how to talk about your health, and how to engage with your providers. Also, how to get resources for yourself so that you can maintain good health. When we're looking at a patient who needs or improves their health literacy, it would be things that started like schedule an appointment, how to remember that appointment, how to prepare for that appointment, how to find resources to pay for that appointment, how to follow up with that appointment, and how to advocate for yourself when things are not going the way you want for your health. Health is very personal, and so it becomes very complex. It would seem simple. It's better. It's more than a how-to. It's navigation of your health. When it comes to health, we have several struggles, several areas of struggle, and it depends on the patient. When patients have chronic illnesses, for instance, which is the cohort of patients that I deal with a lot of their struggles are based off of the foggy brain of chronic illness. They forget when they used to remember. They have shame. They don't know why they're not meeting the requirements of taking care of their health, and it's very frustrating. There's also the limitations that they have with finances, and they will skip appointments in order to avoid having to pay a bill, and then navigate the shame of that skipped appointment, feeling like their doctor is going to yell at them. It is wasteful for both the patient and the healthcare system for the patient to miss that appointment. It's a big issue. Healthcare systems do receive a negative effect of a missed appointment. Every slot that's missed is at least $200 because it's not filled. But also the patient delays their own care. And if they don't know that there are resources available to them in order to make sure that they can pay for that care, and they don't have the skill in order for them to remember and prepare for their appointments, everyone is at a loss. Their care is delayed. Their care is interrupted, and there is an added component, which is anxiety, that gets added to the mental load of that patient who already has the load of a chronic illness. And basically, they're worried about payment. One of the greatest things in health literacy is to learn that all of those things can be navigated. And it is an educational process to learn how to self-advocate, to learn how to organize, and to learn how to seek out and utilize resources that may be available for that patient. Well, it's funny you ask that, because I am actually trying to design a program currently in my own position. And that program is made for people with chronic illnesses. And one of the problems that they experience is that they get a fog. Their brain is no longer functioning as they are used to, so they don't feel quite themselves. They forget things that they normally would have taken for granted they would remember. So one portion of that health literacy class is going to be focusing on new ways to manage your time, ways to use our devices, such as our cell phones, to schedule appointments or to take pictures of things. So if they know they're going to forget something, they might take a picture of their appointment, or they might take a picture of a meal that they ate, or take a picture and say, I don't feel well right now, and make a note of that. So that would be a focus for that cohort of patients. But also looking on the students level, if I were to teach college students, one of the most important parts of a college student's life is their food. And over 40% of college students are food insecure, which does not help with either their education or their physical and mental health. So I would say that class would be focused on how to achieve resources rather than picking ramen noodles or trying for the cheapest whatever they can get. We would be focused on, how do we apply for SNAP benefits? Do you know that you can apply for SNAP benefits and get up to $129 a month, depending on your situation? Do you know that if you're underinsured or uninsured, that you do qualify or you can apply to qualify for Medicaid? And what to do if you don't have resources, and how to read your bills, and how to make sure that you maintain your financial stability while going to school. So these are things that may not look like health literacy, but it does get in the way of health when you are worried about or making decisions based off of finances, and it has a direct result toward your health. So in that situation, in those two cohorts of people, the people with chronic illnesses and the people who are going to school, those would be the classes that I would focus on. Well, it's going to seem weird to say this, but you are the best resource to better understand your health. The communication that you share with your doctor, and active listening and active speaking about your health is the best resource. So if I were to point someone to it and say, how will this help you? Or let me share with you how it would help, I would say, have an open and frank conversation where you have prepared for that visit. Talk about things truthfully, things that matter to you. If you don't want to take a medicine because you read somewhere that it made you nervous, bring it up. Ask meaningful questions. And when the doctor asks how you're feeling, choose your words wisely. They get to know you better. You get to know them better. But really, you're the subject matter expert in your own body. You were born in it. The doctor takes tests, orders tests based off of what you're saying, pays attention, and mathematically and scientifically puts that together. If you do that, you are the best resource, that team, and you work together to understand what your best next step would be for yourself. We do have people who don't have cell phones at all, or can't afford them. They break and they don't know how to get another one, or their phone has been shut off. Now, for people that have no phone, we just utilize old-fashioned habits. Habit building is one of the hallmarks of anything, whether it is better health, such as working out, sleeping, eating. You just basically build habits. So something as simple as a calendar, a pocket calendar, or one up on their wall, or even little sheets of paper that move into a pocket calendar at home, and habits of how often they're going to look at it. That is a health literacy skill. The ability to know that every day at this time, I'm going to address my appointments, and I'm going to make sure that I take everything that I know about and place it on the calendar, review, and prepare for those visits. Now, for the patients who don't have a phone because they don't have money, there is a program referred to as Lifeline. And Lifeline uses other carriers, like many carriers, such as T-Mobile, AT&T, Boost, There are basically any carrier that you hear of may have a Lifeline program. Certain patients qualify for free phones and free service up to a certain number of minutes. Some have unlimited. Most of them include some data. And that program is available based off of income qualifications and application. You might see them in the parking lot over at Target, over by T-Mobile, or in Walmart parking lot, they'll pull up. There are scams, and people have to watch for those, do their due diligence, but those programs are available, as well as discounts for their internet at home and discounts for their house phone if they still use that, if they choose to not do any cell phone at all. For that person we talked about earlier who just is not ready to jump into the tech wilderness. We have that too.
I believe I have learned incredibly valuable information here that can be used for understanding my role in both advocating my health in future visits to the doctor and navigating the often anxiety-inducing field of medicine as a patient. However, I know this is just the tip of my health literacy iceberg, and there is much to learn as I face the reality of health for my future. Thankfully, Kathleen provided me free public health resources to continue understanding my position in spearheading the pursuit of health, and you can find the links below in the description. Remember, you have a duty to yourself as both the patient and the caretaker of your mind.